Okay. I think we're live. So just so you know, Miguel, we are live on 8 different areas on the internet right now. So hello, everyone. If you're just joining us, I am here with the fabulous, amazing, heartfelt, loving, kind, gentle, several times New York Times best-selling author, the wonderful Don Miguel Ruiz. Woo!
It's an honor to be with you guys. You guys have all my, like always. Here, let's play.
Yes, let's play. And if you're here, if you're watching, do me a favor and just let me know that you can hear both Don Miguel and myself. You can go ahead and post a comment so I can see that. Hello, Rachel. Good to see you here today. Excellent. Okay, so you've written many, many best-selling books, including The 4 Agreements, The 5th Agreement, just all of your books have just resonated with millions of people all over the world. And people have changed the way they've lived their lives, especially based on the 4 Agreements. And today I'm introducing, although we have people that have been reading the book all month, because you were our pick for our Celebrate Your Life Book of the Month Club. And so the latest book, of course, is How to Live an Authentic Life, The Actor, How to Live an Authentic Life. And I love it. Tell us a little bit about what inspired you to write this book.
Okay. Well, as you can see, all my books have a logical sequence. Then I had the idea to use a little more my imagination and share something that everybody knows, of course, but they hardly put it in words. And I have the imagination to see the entire planet Earth as a mystery school, where the main teacher is life itself and is revealing one by one all the secrets of life. If you can imagine a university that there's 5 continents, thousands of different languages, and everybody is going exactly in the same direction to discover the biggest mysteries of all, which is ourself, where you discover yourself. Before we share the 4 agreements as a tools that we can use to keep finding ourselves in all the different situations. Well, this time I talk about the actor, actress, the human. They're always acting, even if they are not aware that they're acting. And the stage is always being there. And the stage is the human society plus nature, the beauty of nature. Mm-hmm. The stage was prepared already for us. When Mama knew she was pregnant, everything started moving around to receive us. When we was born, we have everybody's attention with no effort. Just by being ourselves, they celebrate anything that we do or we don't do. When we grow up, when life revealed to us the secret of the language, that we can communicate with everybody around us, and with that, reveal to us, truth or not, what we believe. What we didn't notice is that everybody has an opinion of us. A lot of critics.
Yes.
We grow up by believing what they say about us. It was so strong that we create an image of ourselves, the way we want to be perceived. We project what we want them to see about us, but they always tell us what we are and what we are not. Then it was a big effort for this actor or actress to shift to try to please all the critics. That's why it's so important for all of us to be accepted. And the stage was changing all the time. It never was the same. First, we have our family, the one who prepare us to appear mystery school, which is the elementary school. The stage change. Now we have other people as young as we are. We have teachers. We have rules. And we start acting to be accepted because we never want to be rejected.
Yeah, and it's exhausting.
Then when we create an image of ourselves, try to please everybody else, we start losing our authenticity little by little. We were children and we played to be adults. We play with other children. This is our first group of actors that we just have fun. If we go to other actors, other people, it's because we want to have fun. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to get hurt. But we can pretend. Maybe you remember being a child and playing to be a nurse or to be a teacher or to please some other people. As soon as you start playing, your little face changes. You become very serious. And now you are playing, you are performing. Anyway, it was a huge change when the hormones get into our body. Because after that, the opinion of the people becomes extremely important. And for us, it was so important to be cool, to be accepted. It was no longer to be the child. Then we lose even more and more and more our authenticity. And something incredible start happening. As an actor, we start sacrificing ourselves just to be okay with the critics.
I understand this. And so and I'm just going to show everybody the book again. And I think Tanya and some of my staff will post a link to it. But this is an extraordinary piece of work. I love your book. This is Don Miguel Ruiz's latest book, The Actor, How to Live an Authentic Life. And in very Don Miguel style, you say, so, there's just so much wisdom in so few words. And the light bulb, every other page when I was reading the book, the light bulb just kept going on and on. Like, it was like, wow. And it's such, as you said before, this is like our mystery school of our life. So I want to read just for everyone listening. And if you haven't picked up the book, please go grab it right now. It's on Amazon. Tanya and Janice are posting the link there. And I love this because this sort of described me of being the drama queen and a crazy person. And I love it because you gently present ourselves to ourselves in the book. And it starts out, childhood tantrums grow into teenage tantrums. Eventually, they evolve into destructive behaviors in adults. It's weird to see grown-ups kick and scream to get attention, isn't it? Kicking and screaming are metaphors, of course, for all kinds of theatrical behavior. The actions of a toddler doesn't improve adult relationships. We all know this by now. When every action gets a reaction, followed by the need to react to that reaction, the insanity escalates. Maybe you too act like a crazy person under pressure. Maybe you're the drama queen throwing tantrums to get attention. No? Okay. I'm not talking about you specifically. Or maybe he is. But some people continue to play those roles. It doesn't matter that they get a negative response, only that they get a response. Most people evolve and mature. They learn from experience and adapt. They dare to be honest. Sometimes they grow wise. And here's the question that you ask in the book that I love. I'm asking you now, are you as honest with yourself as you know how to be? Or does it satisfy you just to give a realistic performance? That was great. Can you talk a little bit more about that? How do we begin to undo ourselves from these performances and this inauthentic behavior that we've been doing all these years?
Well, the first step is always to be aware, to finally see that we are actors and we are acting, that we really never were authentic. We pretend, and we know we pretend. Once that you have that awareness, now you have the opportunity to change. And when you have that awareness, you also have the awareness that everybody around you, they're also acting, even if they don't know. They pretend. They try to cover the image that they express. It's like having a mask that you cannot live without that mask because everybody will see you the way you really are.
Mm.
And we're so afraid to be ourselves that we always pretend. Once that we understand that point, then we may understand that we are the ones who wrote the script. It's our script. It is only true and real for us, but for nobody else. Because everyone else, they did exactly the same thing. They wrote their script and they live in their own drama or their own comedy or whatever. We just share with them and we play together our role.
Mm-hmm.
When we have that awareness, we can also see that the script will depend on us, but the scenery keeps changing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to see that. You know, the stage is changing all the time, even if we don't know. Like when we was 12, 11 years old, we see the world in a certain way, but it was completely different when we was 15 or 18 or in our 20s. This keeps changing, even if we wish that everybody stayed the same. Then the stage keeps changing and the actors have to adapt to those changes, to improvise, to find the best way to keep acting. A big example is this year. In January, February, the stage was completely different. All of a sudden, everything changed and big fear goes everywhere. We accept it, we deny it. Everybody acted in a completely different way, but everybody was acting. And it takes a long time for people to adapt of a new stage. Some people say we want to be normal again. Well, normality was changing all the time because it's changing with the stage. It's like we want to go back to the end of the last century in the 90s. The world is completely different now. Even that we already have cellulars and all those things is completely different.
Yeah.
Everything changed. If we go back in the 60s, completely different also. Just imagine, go back to the Middle Ages, knowing what you know now, seeing yourself as the great actress that you are, and see how everybody else is acting there, what they believe, all the superstitions, all the fear. You don't see authenticity anywhere there. Everybody is just pretending they're acting. And if you start sharing, teaching them what you know, they will fear you and they will kill you. They will think that you make a deal with the demon. You put your life. Well,
So how do we know? So and for those of you that have questions, I'm kind of keeping an eye on the comments. So for those of you who have questions, go ahead and post it in the comments. But I'm going to keep asking my own questions that I've been really curious about. So I completely understand the concept of like we've all just been walking around with these masks and playing these roles, and I can see it in my own life. How do we begin to, I guess, peel away those masks, and how do we know when we're really getting down to our authentic self? Like, what does that look like? Do we get a feeling or a sensation in our bodies, or how do you know when you're truly being authentic? Because there are times when I think I'm being authentic, but maybe I'm really not.
I really love your question. You know that you are getting more and more authentic when you care less and less and less what all the critics think about you. Because when that happens, you are acting more of yourself. You're giving yourself the way you really feel you are. You try to pretend, you stop sacrificing yourself just for other people to enjoy what they want you to be. You're breaking other people's control and you're recovering your own control. That means you're becoming more and more authentic.
When you don't give a
Without,
shit about what other people are thinking.
when you no longer care that much about what they say. You know, if you see fifth agreement, be skeptical, but learn to listen. It's exactly that point. When the critics speak, they tell you what they believe is true, but you're skeptical. You listen what they say. To be skeptical, it doesn't mean that we're more intelligent than other people. No, it's because we know that they're acting and they're expressing what they believe is true. And that could be true for them, but not necessarily is true for you. But when you listen, you will find the things that they say that many can be used to improve your art because it's an art. There's neither good or bad or right or wrong. Whatever script you write is beautiful and is perfect. You can act as the victim of your own creation, of your own limitations, your own rules, or you can be the hero and overcome whatever life brings to you. Instead of resist, you adapt and you change and you give a better attitude. You act much better and you please with yourself. You know, when you're acting the way you feel like, you feel that peace. It is wonderful just to have that awareness to become what you really are, even if you really don't know what you are. Because we only know what we believe we are. We only know the image that we project, what we want them to believe about us. But when you try to justify your existence, you will find out that what you are describing is just a belief of what you think you are.
Right.
You know, if you see a dog acting, a cat acting, they will be completely authentic. And they really don't know that they are dogs or cats. And they don't care. We call them dogs, we call them cats. And we call ourselves humans. But it's just a word. Because in reality, we only can use our imagination in order to really try to describe what we are. I can say without a doubt that I don't know what I am, but I am. I'm here, I am alive, and I'm sharing myself with everybody.
Okay, so I do have a question from someone, and I just want to comment on what you just shared. I feel like being our authentic selves allows us to walk around a lot more relaxed and as relaxed beings rather than these, at least I can speak for myself, this uptight, like, am I okay? Am I getting approval? Am I doing this? Am I doing things right? And just, God, everybody's adrenals would be so much less uptight. We'd all be walking around.
And also, you don't have to criticize anybody else. You accept them the way they are.
Yeah.
That's extremely important. You don't have to control them to tell them how they should act in order to be okay with you. No, they're free to do whatever they need to do. If we don't like it, we don't have to be there, really. If we like it, we're gonna be there. Then it's so easy to be with someone who is more authentic because he's not pretending. He don't try to lie to you. Not that you're gonna judge the lie or not lie. No, you just have awareness. You just know that you choose the group of actors with the one you play with. And that make everything so easy, very simple. Because life is so simple. We just complicate everything.
Oh, it feels so hard sometimes and so complicated, especially right now. And I love what you shared before we went on the air. We were talking about what's going on right now. And I asked Don Miguel if he was being safe, and he says, it's just common sense. It's just common sense. It's that simple. It's just common sense. So I have a couple of questions. Rachel is asking, do you believe the more authentic we become, that we will attract more authentic people and less critics?
Well, we have to be aware of something very important. We don't try to be accepted by other people. We don't need to attract anybody. We are what we are. We live the way we live. People will come to us because they like the way we are. But we're not doing what we're doing to try to be good for them. No, we do it because we want to be good for ourselves.
It's
That's
not
like
about, it's not about who we're going to. That's a great answer. I love that. You got that, Rach? Okay. Another question is, do you think our greatest gifts are often our greatest failure and hurts? Do you think our greatest gifts are often our greatest failure and hurts? Okay.
well, only hurt if we put that on the script.
Okay.
We create the script. Mhm. Then what? And we see what kind of actors we are. We can be the hero. We can be the victim. We can be the villain. We can look for problems. We can look for solutions. Then failure, not failure, is just a point of view. In my point of view, every single human is a winner. There are no losers. It is easy to understand why.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine the greatest race that ever happened. Millions of sperms run to get one oven, only one will get the oven. And guess who win the race? You. And that's why you are alive. That's your reward. You have a physical body and you have certain time in this beautiful planet Earth to be part of that mystery school and discover one by one all the secrets that you can enjoy. The secrets about being the actor, secrets about love, about eros, about the mythology, about the pain, about loss. Is the greatest story to be a human. In my point of view, humanity is the best system in the planet Earth.
This year, I feel like we learned so much about humanity and so much about the complexities and the simplicity of life all in one year. In terms
the beauty when the stage change that dramatic.
Yeah.
Push you to see yourself, to find out how you can be better. You can be paralyzed and be a victim, or you can be the hero and resolve whatever problem come into your life.
Did you wait a minute? You have to repeat that. That was like
you also learn to receive and to give. Yeah. This change of the stage that put humanity together. There's many events that happen in the planet. And let's see, what there's a hurricane, an earthquake, these kind of tragedies. We humans, we get together, and together we do something better. We recover. But there's the other kind of tragedies, the one that we humans create, humans against humans. And that divide us and bring the worst of us, bring the hate, the anger, the jealousy, bring all those huge demons that there's only destroyed what we create. And if I can choose, I would choose this virus against the Second World War. Definitely.
But it's brought up so many challenges this year. And Nancy just shared she's been so stuck this year. But I love what you just shared about being the hero in your life. That touched me. I do have some questions here. I need to scroll back a little bit because I was ignoring them. I was so entranced in what you were saying. Okay, just give me 1 second. Can you speak? Bill is asking, can you speak to the importance of integrity in the process of creating the self?
Well, integrity is only being with us. It is about the truth of what we really are. When we learn the language, when we adopt all those beliefs with all those lies, we believe we lose the integrity. But that is only, we lose it only in the mind, in our virtual world, because our physical body is truth, is real. Our emotions are also real. What is not real is the thoughts that we use in order to push those emotions out. If you're sad, it's true you're sad. If you're angry, it's true that you're angry. But the reason why you're sad or why you're angry or why you're jealous is not necessarily true. For sure, is a lie that we tell to ourselves or that people tell us and we believe it. then it's a whole virtual world and the one we live. And that is not real, it's not true. But we live in that world. We live in the story that we create, who lives in the story that everybody around create. The entire humanity have a whole story, and we participate in that. But we live in our own story. And this is the script that we wrote, that we create. And the only one that we may have some control.
We believe that we have control. That's what I love. We believe over the story. Okay. Oh, here's an interesting question. What someone wants to know what book you're currently reading, or what book is the most influential book you have read? Or maybe I should ask that question, what is the most influential book you've written that you feel you've learned most from?
Well, I read so many books. When I was at school, medical school, before that, there's so many books that I wrote. I agree with some of the books and disagree with the majority of the books. But when I was a teenager, that was a book that really got my attention and made me think. And this is Damien from Herman Hesse. It's a great book, especially in that age.
Can you say the title again?
Damien
Damien. Okay.
is Herman Hesse is the author. He wrote also the Stephen Wolf and Siddhartha,
Right.
but Damien is the one who got my attention. And there's so many books that I like. I love literature. Uh, anyway, there's so many years where when I stopped reading, I don't read that much anymore
Mhm.
because my imagination goes into put it in words to give message that go all around the world. And the message is we will be always the same.
Mm. I just want to interject for a minute before I go on to the next question, that for those of you just joining us, we are talking to the wonderful, beautiful, heartfelt, loving Don Miguel Ruiz, New York Times bestselling author of several books, Mastery of Love, The Fifth Agreement, The Fourth Agreement, Four Agreements. And we're talking about his latest book, The Actor, How to Live an Authentic Life. And in true Don Miguel Ruiz style, he has written an absolutely exquisite book based on the mystery school teachings, the School of Life. And it's truly a beautiful book. And if you haven't picked it up, we've got the link in. You can grab it on Amazon. And I think my staff is posting the link for all of you. And this is really, it's been such a beautiful conversation. Okay, so here's another question. You ready?
Okay.
So Melinda has stated, sometimes not sharing doesn't mean you are inauthentic. It's a form of self-protection. Do you agree that complete honesty is different than being candid about all aspects of your life?
I really like that question. It's important to understand that you live in the story that you create. Just like everybody else, like I said before, they live in the story that they create. Then you only will share what you want them to know. You don't have to share everything that you know. And many of the things that you know is not really true.
Right.
Mhm. But you don't have to go and confess to people what you think is wrong with you. Number one, they really don't care. They're so busy seeing their own story in their own life. And yes, they may react. They can make assumptions and change everything you're saying in a way that they will fit in what they already believe. They can create rumors, gossip. They can, they can go completely out of control. And why you have to gossip about yourself? You will say those things to the person who will accept it, to the person that you want to share the message, to the person that you want them to know. And it's important to choose perhaps the right words, because we have to be completely aware they will change what you say. That's why in my lectures I tell everybody I am completely responsible for what I'm saying, but I am not responsible for what you understand. Because
Of how you're interpreting it. That's beautiful. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, let's see what else we have. Jade is asking, oh, this is a good question. Jade is asking, as someone who is constantly at odds with my personality and identity, should I just accept that the different parts of me create my authentic self?
okay, it's important to understand that nobody knows if you're being or not authentic. They can make assumptions, they can judge, they can see results of whatever you do, but they really don't know if you're being authentic. The only one who knows is you. Only you know that. Then yes, you can be skeptical and you listen to what they say about you, but you use your common sense, your reason to see what is truth and what is not truth for you. You know, it's a whole art. Then you don't need to live your life by other people's opinion. But some of those opinions can help you to improve whatever decision you want to make. Because you make decision and you pay for that decision in one way or another, for good or for bad, it doesn't matter. But when we take the risk to explore life, to live life, we will take many decisions. And we don't have to be afraid of that. But it's also very important to see that we are in a world where every human, every artist, every actor, they focus the attention in what they believe and what they know. And they think that this is real, that this is the truth, when in fact, nothing is real. But looks like real, feel like real, and have action
I
and
know.
that we have to put up with. But we have to take the risk. We are the heroes, remember?
The heroes, being the hero. That was, oh, that was golden. Absolutely. Oh, you are such a blessing to not only my life, you've been at many of our Celebrate Your Life conferences and been a presenter. And when we're back up and rolling again, you know I'm going to get it. You're going to get it. Carla's going to get a phone call from me. Come on, let's have the men back, the Ruizes. And your sons have really, you've taught, Mikey, Miguel Jr., and Jose such a beautiful way of teaching as well. And again, for those of you just joining us, we're talking about Don Miguel's latest book, The Actor, How to Live an Authentic Life. If you've not picked this up yet, I highly, highly, highly encourage it. It is a beautiful read. It is simple. It is easy. It is filled with joy. It is filled with understanding, as is all of your books. I mean, it is true Don Miguel style.
Thank
Oh,
you.
it's
It's been
beautiful.
a great day.
Thank you. And it was so wonderful to see you, even just through, Zoom here or this platform. It's so wonderful to see you.
Yes, it's great to see you again one more
Yeah.
time. And
All right.
hopefully in the future we'll do something.
Oh, yes. Yes. I won't
But
quote.
the stage change again.
Okay. Yes. We'll be changing and shifting. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. And again, grab that book. It is just truly beautiful, especially during these interesting, changing times. It is the perfect handbook for what we're going through right now, I believe. Absolutely. It's very timely. The book is very timely. All right. And for those of you who are interested in joining our book club, if you go to celebrateyourlife.com, you can get all information about how to be a part of our Celebrate Your Life book club. So that's it for today. Thank you all so much for joining us. Mwah. Miguel, love you so much.
Oh, bye, love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.